Hey guys, Lizardlea here for 4 Heavenly Beasts, day 88. I didn't say 44. So, I'm gonna stand up. Who am I kidding? No, this way. Okay. So, it looks like I don't have a ton. But there's no way I'm going to be finishing this last little bit today. To be honest, there's no way. And I'm also not feeling great, so this might be a very short video. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah. I make no promises that it's going to be a long video. There we go.
Alright, so David is back.
Hello.
So our husband, ding ding. Even though right now he's sitting in a chair, but you know. So the first movie I have on here is Sicario 2, which it looks like it's called Sicario Day of the Soldado. So take it away, Devoted.
It's the sequel to Sicario.
Helpful, as he immediately dies.
This is what I do. It's basically, it's a very similar idea to the first one, where escalating cartel violence, or possible cartel violence, in fact, leads to bad stuff. What's today's date?
August 26th.
August, thank you. So because of that, because of these bad things that occur, the U.S. government decides to finally go like scorched earth on the cartels and start treating them as essentially a military, not even a military engagement. It's hard to describe because it's so... I don't want to spoil things, but the short version is they decide to do something that is like highly, 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 highly illegal, and decide to cause all sorts of drama, putting it lightly, by orchestrating the kidnapping of the daughter of one of the cartel members, to make it look like another cartel kidnapped her so that everything will blow up and go crazy. And this already poorly thought out plan goes even worse than it sounds, and there's a lot of fallout. It's a sequel in the sense that Benicio del Toro is still in the movie, and he is still the main character. He's just not obviously the main character in the first movie, but the story's really about him, even though he's not the protagonist. Which there's a really good video on YouTube about that if you're the kind of person who gets into nerdy things. But
I'm interested in this because I've seen it a couple times, and I still feel like Emily Blunt is the main character.
It's his story. In fact, the original script was written from his point of view. And maybe even parts of it were shot from his point of view. But what they decided was the story's less interesting if you just follow him, because then it's just a dime a dozen revenge story. Instead, it's Emily Blunt's point of view of her getting just tangentially involved in this giant monstrosity of revenge and politics, and it's really, though, all about him and what he's doing and the people it affects around him, namely Emily Blunt and the cartel police officer, the Mexican police officer who works for the cartel, and other people. So either way, this movie is not nearly as elegant. It is much more straightforward. It's still very good, and that it's like almost a military horror film, in that it's the idea of like, dear God, like if the first of all, if for whatever reason the U.S. military decides to come after you specifically, you realize how incredibly screwed you are. This isn't like those action movies where everyone's getting in large firefights that last 30. Like, there are those scenes, but it's usually just one side obliterating the other due to just technological and training superiority in mass. And just how much damage and destruction these people can bring. And then, also the horror of just like, oh my God, like things escalating out of control, and how, like, it's a weird kind of horror, and I'm sure almost no one else would genre it as horror, but I really think it's actually just a uncommon kind of horror that I'm not clever enough to think of a word for. But short version, yes, if you like gunfights and crazy stuff and intrigue, it's got all that too. And it is not as nearly as good as the first one, but it's still worth watching. Like, if this had come out on its own and it had not been a sequel to the first one, I would have liked it just fine. I'm really annoyed because when I found out about Sicario 1 because I went to the movie theater to see a movie with John, and some guy was like, hey, you guys like to see movies? Yeah. He's like, here's some free tickets to a early preview of Sicario 2. We want to get your thoughts. And this was like, I want to say 6 months to a year before the movie actually came out.
So that would have been before you and I met, because it came out in 2018.
Right. And so I asked John, oh, hey, would I like Sicario? He's like, I'm not sure. And I was like, okay, so this is probably just some stupid action film, revenge flick thing. I won't bother. And then I found out that, like, I love Sicario, and I wish I'd gone to the screening because I wonder how different the screening was from the final version, because I do wonder if it was cut or edited.
They almost always are, because they do it based on what the
feedback is.
Audience says.
And I might have been the one pretentious person in that screening who was like, no, don't change it, it's art. But it is a totally different director, mind you, so I wouldn't expect the same film. So, all that rambling aside, is good movie. I'm not going to spoil it, other than to say one of the other problems with it is you can take it as an ending, but it's also supposed to have a third film. I don't know if the third film is still being made. Last I'd heard, it was kind of
in development.
Yeah, how long has it been in development?
Don't know, but everything I'm seeing says 2025. So maybe not.
Yeah, if it one day comes out, great. If it doesn't, I'd still recommend it, but like it's not a must see, you know. It's what it is. Oh my god, my phone is fighting me. Your thoughts?
I have rewatched Sicario, and I am willing to rewatch it again. I don't know if I'll rewatch Sicario 2. I don't want to get into spoilers, but I'm just saying I had a favorite character. And, yeah. If you watch this channel a lot, you know what happens to my favorite characters. Lo and behold, my favorite character doesn't make it.
That's weird how that works.
I have like what we decide, a 95% hit rate?
Something like that.
Somewhere.
Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, I don't have much else to say.
We shall move on to the next movie then, which is The 51st State, which stars Samuel L. Jackson. Woo! And
it does.
Robert Carlyle, Emily Mortimer, Meatloaf!
It does, doesn't it?
Yes.
I have it in here.
Every single movie I've watched with Meatloaf, he's died in, and I'm really bitter about it.
I couldn't find this because I have it
died
under
in this one,
Formula
I don't
51,
remember.
which is its other name.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Well, I wrote 51st Date because that's where we found it as.
it depends on where you
What we
look.
found
So
it
yeah,
as.
if you're like, oh, I desperately want to watch this weird movie I'm about to describe.
It has more than one name.
Yeah. It is fun. It is literally dumb 90s action flick starring Samuel L. Jackson and Meatloaf. Like, that is, honest to God, most of the plot right there. Beyond that, it's that Samuel L. Jackson is a college graduate chemist who, and I'm kind of like telling some of this out of order, so there's slight spoilers in this, but it is not a plot-heavy film, who is driving down the road after getting his college diploma, ready to go start a great career as what is, I'm sure, going to be a brilliant chemist, and he gets pulled over by a cop, and he's clearly been smoking weed, and he like tells the cop, hey man, like I just got my diploma, this will ruin my job, and then the cop takes a hit, and then he drops on the ground, steps on it, is like, the 60s are over, hippie, and then, you know, clearly he goes to jail. So the movie actually starts, I think, with him not getting out of jail, no. But he's orchestrating some sort of drug deal, because he's clearly making he's made some incredible breakthrough and made this incredible new drug, and he wants to give it out to this person's or persons unknown, and then he orchestrates shenaniganry from there, which winds up involving, who are the two other actors?
Meatloaf as the Lizard.
Yes, but the two main protagonists, not the villain.
I mean, I don't remember because I don't recognize their names.
I thought you...
Robert Carlyle as Felix D'Souza.
Yeah.
Emily Mortimer as Dakota Parker.
I thought you liked
Like,
Robert
they
Carlyle.
look familiar, but like I clearly don't know them well enough to recognize what I know them from.
Either way, they get involved as well, and shenanigans are afoot. It's mostly just everyone trying to figure out what happened because a whole bunch of people get killed right at the start, and now he's trying to sell his drug while he's also trying to escape the fallout, and various people have been hired to kill or protect him to make sure this occurs, and yeah, that is about as much plot as you're gonna need, and I think that's about as much plot as there is, and I guess most critically, he's wearing a kilt.
Yes.
So
I mean,
Samuel
L. Jackson is spectacular in everything I've seen him in, at least. And I loved him in this, too. So, I mean, I know people like to talk crap about it. I loved Snakes on a Plane. Like,
yeah,
I've always been a fan of him. I always will be.
Yeah, no, and I mean, this movie's not bad in any way. Like, it's just straight up 90s film. It's got some dated, like, ways of doing scenes and shots and pacing, but there's nothing, like, horrible about it. It's funny, it's fun, the shoehorned romance is fine.
Yes.
The stupid jokes are fine. The action scenes are fine. There is one incredibly gross scene, now that I think about it, that didn't need to be there. And it's just crude humor. But, you know, it's okay.
It's a good action movie. Like, I know there's blood, you know, there's shootouts. But I'd recommend it. I liked it. All right. The next one is What Happens in Vegas? And that's Cameron Diaz and Ashton Kutcher. I've watched this movie so many times because I bought it on DVD a long time ago. See, it came out in 2008. So, probably got it a long time ago. I don't buy DVDs anymore, so that's part of the problem. But I made David watch it because I don't remember what sparked it. But I was like, it's a good romance and we need something to watch. So, What Happens in Vegas?
Yep. It is literally one of the most tropey rom-coms out there, and that the trope here is, believe it or not, Ashton Kutcher and Diaz managed to go to Vegas at the same time,
And hit the
get
jackpot.
wildly drunk, get married first, in one of those Vegas whirlwind weddings, literally the kind that usually gets immediately annulled. But it turns out, oh, they actually kind of have great chemistry and things are going great and yada, yada, yada. So maybe this will turn out fine. But then they wake up the next morning sober and are like, no, this is terrible. You're dumb. No, you're dumb. No, you're dumb. We should definitely get a divorce. But she gives him money and he plays it in a slot machine, or vice versa.
Yeah, I think it's she gives him the quarter.
Yeah.
And he pulls it.
And thus, a jackpot is won. Now there's $2 million on the line or something. And so they go to get their marriage annulled and figure out how to split the money or whatever. And the judge says, no, you're going to try and be married because marriage is sacrosanct. And even in Vegas, you're not even trying. Yada, yada, yada. And so
There's
they
a lot of
both
money
try
on the
to
line.
drive each other crazy and find love in the process. Spoilers, I suppose.
I mean, the assumption is that they would find love. It's a
Yes.
rom-com. Like,
Yeah.
But, you know, chaos ensues. And honestly, my favorite character is Tipper. It's Cameron Diaz's best friend, played by Lake Bell. Like, there's an end credits scene, which is my favorite scene in the entire movie. Which I know sounds stupid, but, like, it's... Honestly, it's not a blooper, but it reminds me of all the movies I saw growing up where they would put bloopers with the end credits. And a lot of times, like, that would be my favorite part of the movie. So, like, it just feels like it's going back to that time, rather than now, where, you know, oh, this end credit scene is setting up for the sequel, or it's giving you a scene that they wanted to cut, but now they're including, like...
scene.
Yeah,
Like
but I just...
in,
it's not like the Marvel movies post-credit scenes that we get now.
But I mean, like,
It's hilarious.
Ferris Bueller's is one.
I hated that movie.
Yes,
don't remember
I'm aware you hate
credits scene.
But it's the one the rest of the world will remember, or reference. So yeah, they just used to occasionally do cute little end credit scenes, and that's one of them. Well, cute's stretching it, but she has sassy energy.
I don't know who we're talking about. The girl in Ferris Bueller's or...
The girl in this that you were just talking about.
Oh, okay. The best friend in What Happens in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, she is.
So, Sassy, for anyone that doesn't know, because David just blurted that out of nowhere, and I had a hard time following, is in Ted Lasso, which we have not finished, so we can't talk about it yet. But we have done seasons 1 and 2, and I freaking love it. So I'm just saying, if anybody else wants to watch it as well, let us know your thoughts. Be cool. I loved it. So good. So excited to continue it. Alright. We are going through these very quickly. Next one is Duplicity. And this is Julia Roberts and Brad Pitt? I don't...
Duplicity.
No. Clive Owen.
I was going to say it wasn't Brad Pitt.
I literally can't see any pictures of him. I can only... he has sunglasses on and they're huge, and I don't know Clive Owen's face. So, Clive Owen, and Julia Roberts. You get to do your spiel now.
An ex-MI6 and CIA agent wind up working for a beauty products or rival beauty products companies, where they're doing corporate espionage instead of like legit life on the line political espionage. And it's also a rom-com, and it's a better rom-com in my eyes.
I mean,
What Happens in Vegas is up there, but
I love What Happens in Vegas, and that one feels very, very rewatchable to me. Duplicity, I feel like I would enjoy it more the second time, and then I'd be done. I don't know if I'd watch it more than that. I don't know. I've only watched it once so far. So.
I think it's fun.
Oh, it was absolutely good. Zero regrets. I don't know how rewatchable it is.
I just love how incredibly broken their relationship is. It's a shame that Robert is impossible. He needs to watch this film. Just because of how perfect it is, and that it's like, yeah, this is like making fun of all the James Bond stuff. In
a good way. Yeah,
in a good way. And I love the absurdity of the whole situation. It's like, it's both realistic and not. And then it's like, yeah, it just because it's, beauty products and soap and whatnot doesn't mean it's not serious and high stakes and millions of dollars thrown at these espionage plans and yada 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 and whatnot. Like, not that I think this is super accurate to life, but it still feels believable, and it's told in a really fun way, and that you're never quite sure who's telling the truth until the very, 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 very end. And it's also arguably a heist film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because that's kind of the whole plan, is they're supposed to sort of steal something.
From the other company.
Yeah, and it gets convoluted very, very quickly, but it's really...
I found it still incredibly easy to follow.
Oh, yeah, but it's still fun because of that. Like, there's just the levels of just like, wait, what? No, hold on, you did what? No, oh, you did that, but wait, it lays all that out very well. You don't feel lost at all, no. And
I just remember at one point I turned to David and I was like, and this is soap companies, right? And you just laughed at me and you're like, yes, it's soap companies. And I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, because like it's just so over the top what's going on, and you're like, so it's not nuclear codes, it's
it's soap.
It's proprietary corporate secrets. Okay. And
yeah, sometimes they act like it's nuclear code.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's kind of potentially the end of their jobs. If
you could take certain scenes from this movie and put in
War Games.
No, what's his name? Not Brad Pitt. Tom Cruise, and this could be a Mission Impossible.
Oh,
film.
I mean, was it her? No, who used to be the MI agent? MI6.
Him.
It was him.
Yeah, she's CIA.
CIA. Okay, I couldn't remember.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's really fun. It keeps you guessing. I definitely don't want to spoil this one because it's worth seeing. It's fun. It's easy. And it's one of my favorite rom-coms, probably up there with Intolerable Cruelty, I think. Just because I like the twisty, weird ones.
It was cute. I liked it. Pride and Prejudice will always be my favorite romance movie.
I see.
Rom-coms, I feel like it has to be Clueless for me.
I see. So what would be next?
The last one I currently have on the docket is Tall Tale from 1995, starring Patrick Swayze.
Which you didn't know.
No, I had never heard of this movie
How could you not know Patrick Swayze's magnum opus, Tall Tale from 1995? With Disney.
Because Dirty Dancing was probably his magnum opus.
No, it wasn't.
And he'd probably be bitter to hear that, but...
I doubt he would be.
I mean, he hated Jennifer Grey when they were filming.
The Dirty Dancing was his magnum opus.
Opus, yeah.
No,
or
that's why
Ghost.
it's Tall Tale.
It could be Ghost. Ghost was really good, and I don't think he had a bad relationship with Demi Moore.
It's Tall Tale. I keep going over this.
You know, you said you've talked to other people, and they were all just like, oh my god, I thought that was a fever dream. That's not a magnum opus.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
It's so good, it's in your dreams.
Google define magnum opus. A large and important work of art, music, or literature, especially one regarded as the most important work of an artist or writer.
Yeah. Tall Tale.
Patrick Swayze, magnum opus. Or it's going to be like Roadhouse. Difficult because his legacy is defined by several iconic films that showcased his diverse talents.
Like Tall Tale.
While a masterpiece is subjective, 3 films are most often cited as
Tall Tale,
career-defining
Tall Tale.
for different reasons. Dirty Dancing, Point Break, which, yeah, I feel stupid for not mentioning that one, and Roadhouse. Guess who got 2 out of 3 of those? Not you, Devoted. Not you. It was your wife.
That's because the internet is wrong.
Who
Everyone
had
knows
a
this.
huge crush on Patrick Swayze for the longest time.
And that's why you can't be objective about why Tall Tale is so great.
I mean, you're not being objective. You're just focusing on the one movie you've seen of his when you were a kid. So you have...
It's not just the one movie I've seen.
Freaking,
It's the movie that multiple people told me they thought was a fever dream, which means it lives on in their mind.
I mean, the Indian in the cupboard seemed like a fever dream for me for a little while, and although I love that movie, I don't think I could recommend it to anybody that didn't, grow up in the 90s and expect everything that Indian in the cupboard throws at you.
Right, so anyways, going back to Tall Tale, so we can understand why this is considered a
No,
fever
hold.
dream.
I was talking about having a crush on Patrick Swayze. One of our friends, I believe it was Hillary, was giving me crap for really liking Patrick Swayze. And she was crapping on him, and I was just like, he died from cancer, right? Like, you don't need to be mean about someone who's dead. And she was just like, oh. And then she went right back to telling me how horrible Dirty Dancing was, and I was like, no, it wasn't. He was a dancer prior to that movie. Like, all those scenes are legitimate. And he was pissed at Jennifer Grey because she kept giggling, and I identified with that. Because I'm really ticklish. And that is why Dirty Dancing is his magnum opus.
Now that we've unpacked that, the plot of this child's movie is that...
I watched Dirty Dancing as a child.
The plot of this child-appropriate movie is that it's called Tall Tale because it's literally the, famous
Paul
American
Bunyan and
tall tales of Paul Bunyan, Pecos Bill, and oh my god,
Daniel Hackett.
No,
Paul Bunyan, Pecos Bill, John Henry.
John Henry. Thank you, Jesus.
I'm looking at
and Calamity Jane also makes a cameo appearance. So yeah, it's all these characters, and so of course the kid's growing up on a farm, and someone wants to buy up the farm to build a railroad, and the kid doesn't want daddy to sell the farm, and then he winds up meeting all these larger than life peoples and learning very important morals for himself. And, stuffs. It's not that great, it's just his magnum opus.
No.
No, move on.
No, it was a cute movie. I'm not going to lie. I did enjoy it. I, however, will not rewatch it because what once was fine. It was fine.
was fine. It was
Paul,
fine.
Paul Bunyan is played by Oliver Platt, who was very amusing in the role because he seems so tiny in real life, but Paul Bunyan is supposed to be a freaking giant.
Yeah, which is part of the joke.
But they did really good with it, and his blue ox actually looks blue.
Yeah, because it was a Disney production, so it was blue. Like, actually, that's one of the more interesting things about the film, because it's certainly not the plot, is that it's really got that 90s Disneyland vibe to all the sets, where it's like, yeah,
it
this
looks
feels
grandiose.
like you're on this feels like you're on, like, a Disney ride. Like, if they were to make a Westworld, per se, I would expect the level of detail these sets have. I know they've got Adventure World, but, like, again, if it was like a ride like Pirates of the Caribbean, where you're just like, wow, there's all these little details on everything. And yeah, the sets in this movie are the same way, where it's just incredible levels of, like, set design and whatnot. Probably, I don't know my set design nerd knowledge, but, like, I wouldn't be surprised if this is kind of the heyday before green screen really hits and starts making everything just digital, because yeah, they're in all these interesting little locales and places, and most of them are actually a lot of work to, like, get everything right, and they nail it.
I recall a few scenes where I was like, oh, that's clearly a miniature, but I mean that in a good way. I love when, you know, like, if there's an explosion, I much prefer when you blow up a miniature rather than digitally do it, because it looks so much better. And anytime I go into a museum, if there's a miniature, you know, scenery, anything, I will stand there and I will look at every single detail for like 30 minutes to an hour. Like, I love miniatures. They're so cool. So seeing it done for a movie they're always impressive.
Yeah.
And I don't recall if there was a scene where the background was painted, but I also love those because they're always, again, so detailed and so beautiful. And I miss that. I understand that, you know, it might be more expensive or more difficult than CGI, but I love it so much.
It's just
It's
simply
more immersive.
Yeah, and the whole problem is that, yes, it is just straight up more work to do it right. And ideally you use both. That's why things like Jurassic Park look so great, is because, yeah, you
They
have
merge
puppets
them.
and CGI. Well, not puppets, but
I know what you
animatronics
mean,
is the
yeah.
fancy term. And yeah, it can make really, really cool sets and scenes, and that's why people like Christopher Nolan are still so well regarded, because yeah, like, if he's like, I want to crash a jet into a building, okay, so we're gonna agree. No, I bought the jet already. Just go stand over there. And that's what he had intended. So yeah, it's really, really cool what you can do when you put the time in and do it right. And it's unfortunate that, yeah, like, with all these mega budgets, most of it's going to green screen that, like, it looks good, but at the same time, you know it when you see it.
Yeah, well, because you can never get every single, like, pixel around someone, especially when you take into consideration their hair.
Well,
So, like, you can just see it if you're looking at them.
can, in a sense. That's not what's throwing you.
Well, it throws me off.
Something's throwing you off, but it's not what you think it is. I'm being overly technical here. So, short version, yes. You know when you see it, they use certain types of shots and things because they can't do otherwise with CGI.
Yeah.
Like, again, a simple example is, you can't have the character get thrown into the background and go through the wall without it kind of looking a little bit different than the rest of the background, you know? That's what's nice about physical sets, is when they're doing these knockdown, drag-out fights in Tall Tale, stuff's getting knocked around, props are flying everywhere, things are happening, and there are ways we've worked around that and worked with it, you know, where you just set up all the things that the actors are going to interact with, but it kind of reminds me of the old cartoons, where you could tell what was background and what was going to be interacted with, because it was drawn slightly differently, in a different shade of color and whatnot, because the background stills are drawn to a much higher quality level, and then they do like the quick and dirty, I have to animate Daffy Duck kicking his way through this or whatever, or getting slammed into it, so this will be the quick and easy, and so it wound up different. And that happens with CGI, just it would be much, much harder to like put your finger on exactly how you can tell the difference, but your brain still does. And even then, really good CGI, sometimes not, but no one's looking at Avatar and saying, yes, that is exactly how blue people would look. It's this weird in-between where it's like, well, yes, that looks incredible, but that's not how real life looks. Something about this is wrong. It's not uncanny valley exactly where you're like, wow, this just makes me uncomfortable. But at the same time, you're like, well, no, even if I just showed you a picture of that, you're going to say the way the light's hitting, the way things are going on there.
Have you seen Avatar?
Yes.
Okay. Because I feel like it actually did a great job because the people were mostly CGI, as was the background.
Right, but that's the thing is, even then, your brain knows the way light and skin and flesh and physics work.
They don't always move exactly the way a human is. Honestly, it's too fluid at points.
But also,
like,
just
there's an elbow
at, like,
there.
Skin, they have incredible detail on skin down to the hair, and yet still it doesn't look like human skin or blue people's skin. You're like, yeah, that's CGI.
It's planned out rather than just random the way that.
There's a lot going on there because it doesn't matter. So yeah, that's my rant on special effects for the 80th time on these series. But don't worry, I'm sure you haven't watched every single Lizardlea video. So here you go again.
True, I do agree with that. They probably haven't.
Aww.
We've talked longer than the video, so I now see that after this, you're gonna get Floor Husband. Ding ding.
Ding ding.
So. Yeah. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Magnum opus.
No. Okay, honestly, if you're a fan of Patrick Swayze, what would you say was his magnum opus? And honestly, if you say the SNL skit of him and Chippendales, I would accept that. That was spectacular.
I would actually probably say Point Break, but
Point Break was really good.
Yeah. But also, I feel like he is a nice enough guy, but it's sort of like, what's the magnum opus of oh my god, what's his name? Rambo.
Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah. Where it's like,
wouldn't it be Rambo?
Or Rocky, but like,
yeah,
both of those
Rocky.
are also more ambitious than anything Patrick Swayze ever was allowed to do. And had he lived longer, he might have something more career.
Roadhouse was pretty action-packed.
My point being that Rocky and Rambo actually have some ambition. No, ambition beyond being action-packed. They have a story, a plot. The original Rambo is basically just a veteran, like the whole like damage of war, and the original PTSD. Rocky, thank you, PTSD. And Rocky is all about like someone up and coming. There's like real story there other than just, hey, here's the plot to get us to the next time he kicks someone through a wall, which is the plot of Roadhouse.
True.
So yeah, Patrick Swayze probably could have done something incredible with his career. Unfortunately, he passed away. So, tall tale.
No. I don't know. Now I want to know. Sylvester Stallone. Oh, 2 L's. Magnum opus. I'll do it again. I didn't spell Sylvester right. My bad. Stop or my mom will shoot. Is that a movie?
I guess.
What? That deserves an Oscar is the top comment. I have never heard of Stop or my mom will shoot. Is this a movie we have to watch now? Oh my gosh, it is. It's 1992. It's gonna be garbage and I'm gonna love it. It's a buddy cop action movie. I'm down for that. Now it's gonna just matter where it's streaming and whatnot. Oh no, David's texting. He is checked out of the conversation. So, yeah, enjoy the video.
And that is the end of For Heavenly Beasts Day 88. I got 3 hours of footage. Are you mocking me?
I'm helping translate 88 and 3.
You know how to count to 88 in ASL.
No, I just know how to do 2 8s. And 3. Floor husband.
Floor husband. So, yeah, not a lot, but it's a good foundation. It's a start. I don't know why I keep confusing it with like the Pokemon cross stitch, because it had edges that were like this big in comparison to this one where it's this big and a normal page is only this much bigger. I'm just, okay, so 1 square is 10 stitches, as viewers probably know. You don't, but they do. It is 6 squares wide. A normal page is 8. So it's only slightly smaller than a regular page.
20 stitches smaller.
That's only width. Height is still the same, but it's still a lot. So it's way more than just 20 stitches.
But like per row.
Per row, yes.
A square is... Well, is a square a 10 by 10 or is it a 10 on the line?
10 by 10.
10 by 10.
It's a square.
So in this
10,
case, they're 8 by
10. 10, 10.
10, 10.
You know, one of the lamest characters from Naruto.
I got there first. Floor husband.
Floor husband. I have nothing else to add.
I'm helping.
You didn't say you wanted to add numbers, so yes, I'll give that to you. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Why are you mocking me?
I'm not mocking
I don't
you.
do 2 fingers, I do 1.
Well, I've upgraded.
No! It's pew pew pew! It's not pew pew pew!
Bang, bang, bang.
No. Pew pew pew!
Kamehameha.
No. We are not doing Dragon Ball crap here.
Because you have such high standards. How dare I drag things into nerd territory?
Oh, no, no, no. I don't mean that by any means. It's just Dragon Ball is not my shonen. It's not. I keep seeing these discussions on, like Facebook videos where it's like, what anime characters would be your Mount Rushmore? And Goku comes up a lot, and I'm like, he would never be on mine. Future Trunks is my favorite, and he would not be on mine.
Yours would be like...
Edward Elric.
And Alphonse Elric, yeah.
Wait, can I do 2 people from the same anime?
I assume you would.
Then I will do that. Sailor Moon.
Yeah. And then Yu Yu Hakusho? Or Gon, or Killua, or whatever.
I could be convinced to do Killua and like Hiei. It's 5, right? Mount Rushmore? Oh god.
Pretty sure it's 4.
It's 4?
It's been a while.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure it's 4. Hey, am I wrong?
I don't remember.
I'm uncultured. I haven't seen that.
I'm American.
Is it Vertigo? North by Northwest?
Mount
I
Rushmore.
haven't seen that movie in forever.
Oh my god, it is only 4.
Yeah.
My bad. I've never actually seen it in person, so it's not actually that big of a deal to me.
Nor have I. But I've seen
Okay.
the movie.
I have not seen a movie titled Mount Rushmore.
It's not titled Mount Rushmore.
Well,
It just
then-
features Mount Rushmore.
Who cares?
It's
Edward Elric.
Alfred Hitchcock, I think. One of his.
Alphonse Elric. Sailor Moon. Screw it, Tuxedo Mask.
These are the ones that matter.
I just like... Brotherhood is my favorite thing in the world. Everybody knows this at this point. But Sailor Moon is what really got me into anime. And both of those characters are iconic. I guarantee you most people who have not seen Sailor Moon at all will still recognize them.
Yeah.
Like... Because my thing with Goku, would you have him looking like his regular self, or would you have him as a Saiyan, or one of the other crazy things he becomes later on? Which Goku are you picking?
He's always a Saiyan.
I mean the Super Saiyan, the blonde hair.
Oh, I know, but
You're
technically they're Locust.
Yes, we know. Semantics. There's a reason he's not on my Mount Rushmore. So who's on yours? Floor husband.
For anime?
Yes. It's like he doesn't even listen to me.
Yeah, but like the thing is that I like shows. I tend to not like characters as much.
Doesn't matter. You have to pick 4.
Probably Goku probably makes mine just because yes, that's one of the reasons I'm into it. Oh gosh, maybe Lelouch.
Oh, Lelouch. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what would work.
Would Simone be on there?
No,
But you love Simone from Gurren Lagann.
I do, but I'm going with what got me into it, so that would probably mean something from Robotech and something from the old Pat Labor movies, like the.
I mean, it doesn't have to be what got you into it. That's only half of mine. And it wasn't originally only half of it. It was only a quarter of it. A fifth of it. You have to pick favorite characters. Like, is someone from Psycho-Pass going to be on there?
No, because they're not favorite characters. It's just a really good story.
Steins Gate?
No.
You really like Hunter x Hunter.
I do, but again, it's a really good story.
With awesome characters.
Yes, but there's not a particular one I like more than others.
There should be. World Trigger?
I was thinking about that, but that one's even harder because they're all good characters.
You have to narrow it down to 4.
No.
That's the rules of the game. You
I-
could have gone with 5 if you hadn't made me second guess how many people were on Mount Rushmore.
Gosh, who do I even like these days? 'Cause the Fate series is fun again, but similar thing.
I wouldn't pick anybody.
Gosh, I wouldn't even know. I have to think about it.
We're already at 7 minutes and 40 seconds.
Next time on Dragon Ball Z, Floor Husband might have an answer to a question he's forgotten about by then.
Wife will also have forgotten. I
Share
did
wife.
notice. I did notice. As I was stitching. Oh God. Now I can't see it. There it is. There's an L for Lizardlea. It is not in focus. There we go. It's in focus.
Where?
Lizard. I'm slowly zooming in on it.
I think I see it.
It's really heavy. It's an L. It's right there. It's in the middle of the screen.
Is it rotated?
No, it's a freaking L.
Oh, okay, there it is.
It's blue.
It's the wrong L.
If you're playing Tetris, yes, it's always the wrong L.
Yeah.
Well, L's aren't usually too bad. It's the Z's and the S's. Those are always wrong. Because they just suck.
They're called tetrinos.
Tetrinos?
Not the Z's and the S's, all the pieces. Or tetramino? Tetrino? Something like that, yeah. There's a name for those shapes and how you make them and what qualifies as one. Those are 4-piece tetrinos, and then there's 5-piece ones, and there's a lot more shapes when you add an extra square.
Floor Husband's a nerd. Where'd my mouse go? I can't find my mouse. There we go.